Hi, I'm Mike Ryan, and we are going to make wine today. We have wine juice that I got from California, and we're making that for Mary Jane Schroeder out in Rensselaerville. And she's over here hiding, and I got Mayor Lash helping me out as well. And what we do is we get 6-gallon pails in from California. And if you notice this one here, the Angelina, and it also has a label on it, Pinot Grigio. So we have different kinds of juice that are reds and whites, and you can get anything you want only during the wine season. We start taking orders in August, and we finish up the season pretty much in mid-October area. That's every year. And of course, we also have Chilean wine and South African wine and Argentina wine that is available in May of next year because the seasons are different. What you need for this kit, a 6-gallon bucket, which are very reasonable. You need a carboy. Usually 6 gallons or 5 gallons is appropriate. So we're going to put the juice into this in just a second. Yeast is a part of the packet also. A hose, and of course some Be Bright, which is a cleaner. Then you put that into a carboy as well as some water. We're going to swish some stuff around. What's very important is that you have to make sure that things are clean, clean, clean. Okay, your hands, everything else, you're touching different things. Just make sure you're clean. So I have a carboy, and what we're going to do is fill this up part of the way. And sometimes it's handy to have these kinds of hoses. But I'll fill this up about 3/4, or maybe 1/4 of the way actually. And I'll swish the water around in it. And what I want to do is get out all any kind of dust, anything that might be negative for the wine. So clean, clean, clean is good. And air gaps too are something that you want to make sure that you don't have a lot of after the first racking. So I'm going to fill the juice actually up to here, which is the shoulder of the bottle. And I will have a little extra for the reason being is you want to leave a little bit of room on the first racking. The racking I'll tell you about in just a second. And the air gap here is good because it's going to work. The yeast will be eating up the sugars and turning that alcohol to alcohol after it eats the sugars up. So the racking process that I'm going to do, I'm going to take from this pail, and I'm going to keep the pail up here and bring this carboy down here when it's clean. And I'm going to use the hose, siphon it down, try not to get anything on me, which almost never happens, so you might have a good laugh later on. But I'll fill this jug up. It's not bad right now. And if you got some helpers, but if they drink wine, this is where the helpers come in handy. So what I'm doing is I'm swishing this around, getting some of the impurities out. Okay, it goes right back down into the sink. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of that Be Bright cleaner in there. And I'm going to mix that. I actually do this a couple of times. You can do it once, but I'd rather be more careful and make sure that we get things done in an appropriate way so all the germs are out of this. So, it's pretty easy to do. You don't have to squeeze a grape anymore. And they package these containers of juice out in California for us. I have Cabernet Sauvignon, I got Merlot, I've got Sangiovese, I got Riesling, I got Chardonnay, I even have Italian wines now that are coming in that I have in the beginning of October, and those come to me about the second week of October. And there's different kinds, Barolo, Brunello. There's quite a few more that I have on my Facebook page too. So you can look those up at Ryan's Farmers Market or Ryan's Produce. And I've got a listing of like 45 different kinds. So we are filling this up with a bit of water. Okay, Be Bright goes in here. And that helps get rid of any of the germs. I usually put like 1.5 in here. That's good enough, and that is very helpful. It's a sanitizer. And what you want to do is any of the bottles that you are going to be bottling the wine with, do the same thing. I kind of use what the industry tells me to use, which is the Be Bright. And it works out good for me and my customers as well. And what I'm going to do next, obviously after I swish this around, I'm going to take the Be Bright out, dump that, and I'm going to put more water in it to make sure that we've got a good, fresh, clean carboy. Carboys come in 6 gallons, 4s, 5s, and sometimes even bigger. This is a carboy. They also make demi-johns too. Demi-johns come in 14.2 gallons, if I'm not mistaken. That's for the serious winemakers too. But, you know, showing us I got this in the sink, you're not making a mess. If you're going to make a mess, it's going to go right down the drain, so that's cool. So, get somebody who's really energetic. How about the kids? And just be careful, because, you know, this is a little wet. But I'll switch this around. Even outside, we can do it as well. Hold on. I could fill up the whole bottle, it'll be really heavy, and I don't want to drop this on the ground. It's the only carboy I have today. So we're going to try to make everything airtight when we do this, because when we put the wine from the bucket into the carboy, we want to make sure that the air only comes out. It doesn't go in. Hence what we call an airlock system, which I do have. Okay. See this baby right here? Okay, that's to go into the carboy. This is an airlock system, and I'm going to put some water in here, and it'll go around and it'll sit right about here. And this acts pretty much like it burps. Like, you know, if you eat food, it's like your stomach in a way. This is your stomach, and this is, you know, where things burp. And once the pressure in here comes up a little bit, you'll see the water go around and it'll go blurp, blurp all day long. It'll do that for, you know, probably 2 or 3 days, because the fermentation is getting done from the yeast, eating the sugars, turning that into alcohol. So, we're doing pretty good so far. Still with me? Wine nut. Okay. A little more swish. Woo, baby. All right. See, I told you we can make a mess. Mary Jane! Okay. Well, when you do a little hot water in it, which you should, it seems to
explode.
Want to go where it wants to go.
It doesn't help when you hold the hose over the floor.
I'm doing windows later on.
You see what you just did? You just held it right over the floor.
Okay, good. This is not a perfect job, but I'm darn close to it. This is a lot of fun. If you make mistakes, you're going to watch it. So I plan on something going wrong. I still have to siphon that thing down, you know, so stay tuned. I made you watch. Just do it a second time. No window treatment needed this time. Okay. Clean carboy. Okay. Goes down here. Nice wet floor.
Yeah, be careful, folks. That tile gets slippery.
It's okay. If I'm down flat doing it, I'll do it. Okay, so I just unscrewed the top of this. Now, Mira, come on over, and I'll show you. Buckets that we have, once again, are 6 gallons. This is like an air valve. And this automatically, if this heats up a little bit, this is an air valve that actually pops out. Piece of rubber. And I once again, I push the air out. Sometimes this top goes up a little bit, but I can push that right back down. This is where you open it. Okay, it's easy. What I did a little bit earlier is I washed this hose. Pick these up at any hardware store you want. I also ran something through here as well. Okay, not a bad idea. Keep in tune to what I was telling you earlier. If you're just tuning in, I'm not making bread or anything like that. We're making wine. Okay, so I push that through. Sanitizer. Warm. I use warm water for now. Make sure that goes through. How we doing, Mary Jane?
Good.
Okay. You want to come on in a few minutes or not?
What?
You can come on in a couple minutes here. I might need some help. Obviously doing the windows.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, there. Staying clean is what I mean. Okay. So we're going to use gravity pretty much to get this juice down into the bucket. So let's see how long we got. This hose is going to start at the top because the juice is up here, and I'm going to feed it as we go down because I want to make sure that continuous flow goes into the carboy. Now I could probably use that crate over there if I could ask you to grab me that. And I want to get it up just a little higher because something tells me I've got a 5-foot hose here, but 6s are going to work. You know. There you go. That's great. Mary Jane. Okay, now here's the fun part. Now, you got to get a hose that's clear. You know why? I've ended up with this all over my face more than once. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do is I'm just going to suck this. I'm going to put it in there, and I'm not going to get any help, am I?
Out.
Okay. All right, maybe later. Okay, we'll play with the ball later. We're going to play with the wine right now. So let's give it a shot, okay? But I got to keep an eye on this, right? Because, you know, I'll be wearing most of it on the way home. Okay, so you gonna warn me, or you're not gonna warn me when this is coming through? Mm-hmm. You're not. You're not. I can tell right now.
It's coming.
He's good. Told you. So it's as easy as that. See, you've got gravity working for you. Now what you got to do? You can cheat a little here, but I have to make sure that this hose is going down enough. We transported this. Now that it's shaken up a little bit. We're working with the Pinot Grigio today, and this should take only 2 or 3 minutes to get going. As you get down to the bottom of this, okay, you have to tip the pail. So I might need some assistance in a minute, but it's going along pretty good. This process, the racking from one container to the other, I do the first racking for 1 month. And then I do the second racking 2 months after that. And following that, 2 months.
See your instructions.
And yep, there's some variations that you can do with the racking, but I like to do it at least 3 times because I want to make sure that you get all the air out of it. And you know, when you rack it, you take the sediment out of the bottom, and you want to take that out. So after the first racking, this will get a lot clearer after a month. And you put it in a corner. You know, 55, 65 degrees, and that will help you with the fermentation process that we do. Now, I'm going to need a little assistance from Mary Jane. Do you have a little coffee cup that I can have you put that yeast in?
It's obviously going to be right behind you.
Of course it is, yes. There she is. New winemaker. Yes. Happy winemaker. Okay. All right.
Happy wino.
Yes. Sometimes if you don't have the distance to the bottom, you have to start over and just like kind of go through that. But since it's stopped,
The entire package of yeast?
yeah, we're going to do that into like a little bit of warm water. Perfect timing there. I'm going to use a warm water because the yeast cultures are going to multiply faster in warm water.
How much?
I would say about that much. The yeast cultures will multiply faster, a little bit more. Show me that. If you have it in warm water,
Do you need
we'll
to?
stir it a little bit. Yep. We'll do a nice clean spoon. You got one. Rinser, rinser, rinser. Yep. Good. Nice and warm. Okay. Don't confuse this with your coffee. It won't taste good. Okay. Finished product is there. So it's all mixed nicely.
No, I see lumps. Does that matter?
Yeah, squeeze them out of there if you want. So you don't want to shock the yeast. And shocking the yeast will happen when it is too cold. So let's see if we can do this without spilling. Steady. There we go, Freddie. Okay, that's not going to hurt, that little extra water. But you're going to see this bubbling pretty quick.
Yeah.
You know. So we got that finished. Okay. So that was, like I said, good timing for that to quit. But you got to make sure you have the hose long enough because I think it sometimes curls inside. But we'll work that out too. See how things go in just a second. That might work too. Sometimes you prop it up.